I'm in the mountains of North Carolina. I'm heading from Waynesville over to Asheville, North Carolina, to Camping World to get some service done on the camper I slept in last night because I woke up and it was 22 degrees in it. True story. I had 10 blankets or somewhere in that range, and I climbed underneath every one of them. And I actually slept okay for 5 hours. I wasn't miserable. Of course, you stick your head out from under the blankets. It's like, whoa! And people who slept back in the day and after the fire died, man, that was a different life. But I'm not going to complain because there's a lot of people in the mountains right now, post-Helene, who are sleeping like that. This is just an unbelievable situation up here. People are out of propane. It's freezing, of course, and they're just making do. You got people, older people, you have invalids with no heat. You have young children, families, lost their homes, and they're still sleeping in little campers up here. I met them yesterday. I know some of these people. And so anyhow, so for context, because I go play music at Music Ranch, Montana, and all the way out there, and they decided they want to sponsor us with a box truck / stage. It's you can perform off the truck. And we're dragging around one of their campers that they bought for this purpose. So essentially I'm a contractor for Music Ranch, Montana, and usually we do stuff in the summer. Well, this truck has turned into a delivery truck to the mountains, and the people of Music Ranch, and I'll just say their names, Frank and Karen Smith, wonderful, good-hearted people. They are funding the movement of this vehicle and making it possible for me to be up here to try to help people, which is not something that I've ever thought I'd be doing. I mean, I'm a songwriter. I'm not a humanitarian guy. You know, you get these musicians and they get rich and then suddenly they're known as humanitarians. I mean, I'm kind of a broke musician gig worker. So I have seasons of decent money, but I'm just jumping from one season to the next, and winter is not a good season. So, but because of Frank and Karen Smith, I'm able to be up here like on mission to help out some folks. And really, I've found out that the people that I know who want to help these people, they don't really have a way to get over here. And they don't have the contacts, the contacts, not context. So because I'm writing songs and putting them out, like 500 Year Flood, and recently a song called Haven on the Hill, my music is connecting me with people that need help, and then other people I know want to help. So again, I'm in this middleman situation where I'm not really helping anybody. I'm just helping people help others. So I guess I am, but I don't really see it as me doing anything other than just bridging the gap. I'm a bridge. And I'm thankful to be one. But boy, I tell you what, it gets cold out here, and I'm trying to keep expenses down and not go to campgrounds. And, and so I realize what people are going through when you get up out of under the blankets. It's 20 degrees in your camper. You're sitting there looking at your breath. It ain't the end of the world, but it does make you realize that, hey, I'm at an age, I'm in a situation where this is temporary for me. I can do this. This is what these people have to deal with every day. It's not easy for them, for sure. So, all right, I'm taking this camper, getting it messed with. There's just something going on with the charging system, so I'm not going to get into that. That's boring. And maybe, who knows, maybe this entire message is, but I will follow up and just say, or follow up on the week. I'm midweek right now, but I feel like I've been here a week, and I've only been here really a day and a half. I came down knowing that there's a man. Okay, so, all right, there's a guy who is, if you've listened to the show at all, you may have heard me mention Larry and Patty Jenkins. Now, I met them when I first moved to Nashville, 2006. They just naturally just kind of became like my adopted parents in Nashville. And I wasn't looking for adopted parents. They weren't looking for a 20-year-old songwriter to take care of. And I didn't need taken care of, but they were very sweet, and they invited me over to Thanksgiving dinners and all that stuff. And I remember Patty would just come to my house and when I was at work, and she would just fill my refrigerator when I had no money back in those days, and just the kindest, sweetest angels. And they are from this part of the country, so through them over the years I've met a lot of people from Asheville and Burnsville particularly. So not only that, musicians that I've met over the years, and so I do have friends over here. And Larry's brother, whom I never have met, I got connected with him, and he has started a propane ministry. So this guy, he's just running around. He's got some funds to invest into making sure people have propane, but he doesn't want to just give it away to random people on the street. So he's needing someone who's boots on the ground that he could trust to know where to give this propane, and Larry gave him my number. Well, I do happen to know of quite a few situations where they are needing propane refills. And so me and this guy, his name's Brian, last night we met for the first time, and I had 15 tanks from one of these I call them survivor communities. They don't like to be called victims. These are mountain folks, man. They ain't gonna be called victims right now. I ain't no victim. I'm a daggum survivor. And that's what they say, and that's what they are. So anyway, up here they call it Haven on the Hill. And I came up to it yesterday to get these tanks for Brian, so he could fill them, and then I can bring them back. He lives in Asheville. Waynesville is about 30-40 minutes away. So, just to go up to Haven on the Hill is not easy. It's not like, I just run up there real quick. I mean, I have a camper I'm hauling. I'm trying to save money and not go to the KOA and drop $60 a night. So I have to figure out where to drop the camper. So there was another contact who told me you can leave it at this storage unit place. So I went and left it there, and that's where I found out the battery dies completely. It has no ability to make it through the night like it did just literally one night ago. So I don't know what the heck happened, but it's done. So now it's toast. So she said, you can drop it over there at the storage unit. Okay, so this is hours of trying to find the storage unit, make sure I get this thing disconnected and locked up. All right, now I'm going to go up to the community, up on the hill. Really, it's up the mountain. Because you can't haul a camper up there, or you'll never get down or drive off the mountain. So I start getting up there, and once I get up there, I got out, and one dude just walks up. And by the way, I have no phone service up there, so I can't call people. And this guy comes up to me and is like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "Yes, sir. I'm here to refill your propane tanks. I need to get 15 of them and take them to this guy, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "All right, we'll take you over here to Dub." Now, I've met Dub. He's the bulldog of this place, or the guard dog, or the junkyard dog, whatever you want to call him. So Dub is in his camper that's got big old windows. And if anybody tries to take anything, my fuel light is low. Gosh, I got to get gas. Anybody tries to take anything from that place, Dub is going to be on them like a hobo on a bologna sandwich. And he ain't going to turn loose. So I got to go through Dub to get these tanks, which is fine. So I go knock on Dub's door, and he's known for 10 minutes I've been there. But the door pops open, but I don't see him nowhere. He says, "Come on in." So I go in. Tiny camper. And there's Dub sitting there, and there's me. And I would say our knees are almost close to hitting, as he tells me to sit down on this ledge of a couch with stuff on it. So I sit on this edge of it. But it ain't even a couch, it's just a chair. And I told Dub what I was here for, and I said, "Look, I don't want to run off with these if you're not aware of what's going on." He says, "I've heard about this guy, Brian, and yes, sir, he's called me, and you're good. I know your number," which is kind of like, I know where I can find you if you run off with them. I guess that's what it meant. So anyway, I grabbed all these tanks, and he says, "You can't leave yet." And I said, "Well, what do you mean? Because Dub helped me load them and stuff, and I'm going to get off the mountain. I'm going to go find this guy. Then I got to figure out my dead battery camper situation. Where am I going to sleep? All this stuff." And Dub goes, "Steve Bannon's people's coming up here. Trump's people's coming." He rephrased it. "And you got to be here for it." I was like, "What?" And James is the guy he's the guy that started this community. So if you're trying to follow this, and you got to listen to other episodes. Maybe I never have talked about this. This might be on me as the show host to get you up to date, as Rush Limbaugh would. The golden EIB microphone. I can't really do a good Rush, but anyhow. So to get you up to speed, James is a farmer who parked all these people in his field because he felt sorry for him. He couldn't go. They had nowhere to go. FEMA wasn't helping them. Government wasn't helping them. So this farmer says, "Screw it." And he just parks them in his field one at a time and starts getting in gravel and making a road and trying to get them all saved. And it's not their RVs. He gets RVs donated to him, and then again, he's another middleman. He's getting RVs donated to him, and then people find out he's got RVs, and then people that are displaced, somehow he goes through a system and finds out, makes sure they're not a problem or just some homeless guy, but they are homeless, and he takes them in. Now they're paying mortgages on piles of rubble. Some of these people, their houses are gone. They didn't get insurance money. Mortgage still due. So here they move into this, whatever crappy camper got donated to him on the hill up there. And now he's got 50 campers on his property. And he's out there on a tractor smoking a cigarette, being what I call an Appalachian angel, running around helping people all day long. I ain't never in my life. So this is the man that he's hard to get a hold of. So I'm doing all this kind of under the radar and not even really involving James because he's so busy. But here comes James, and he knows me because I come up there one time and met him, and then I wrote a song, and he heard it, and it made him cry. And he's very grateful to me because I wrote this song. Whether it's not that big a deal, but he keeps expressing that to me. And I'm like, man, I've written songs about all kinds of people, including Junior's mama. So, you're not that. No, I'm just kidding. All right, well, it is true. But anyhow, James comes up, says, "Trump's people's coming up here, and you're going to have to help me." And I said, "Help you what?" And he told this to some other lady. Basically, he's doing media, but he wants us to be there because he don't want to do it by himself. So, guess what? I'm going to be on TV. And sure enough, here comes the dude from California Plates and sets up a camera and lights, and he's got a family with him. He's an interviewer. He's a media dude. And he's, I don't know, maybe my age-ish. Really cool looking dude. And he's been up there already, so he kind of knows the lay of the land. And he gets us all piled up there and starts interviewing James. And next thing you know, wants to interview me. And James says on the microphone, he says, "This right here is Adam Pope. He put us on the map with his song." And I'm talking in this microphone to Steve Bannon, Trump's guy, the guy that was in jail and out of jail. I'm on the Steve Bannon show. All I was doing was trying to get some tanks, throw them in the truck. Well, now this interviewer guy, well, tell us about what your story. And I said, look, it's simple. I'm just a middleman. I'm just hauling stuff up. I came up here to get some tanks. I didn't know what all I was getting yanked into up here. But, and the guy's like, well, with this song? And I was like, yeah, it's called, what's the name of the song? I said, it's called Haven on the Hill. But, I ain't worried about the song. I'm just trying to get these tanks. I ain't playing it humble. I'm really just trying to be like, look, I don't know what this show's about. I don't know what I'm in the middle of. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we don't need to storm the Capitol now. Our guy's back. Like, okay, I don't know what. Anyway, so I'm just getting through it, going, all right. And this James guy gets interviewed more. Well, then the interviewer guy comes back to me. He's like, sorry, I'm trying to transition this story, but I keep remembering stuff. So the interviewer guy comes back, hey, I want to interview you again. That was fascinating. Really? Fascinating? So now, I'm interviewing again. Turns out the guy is really nice. I like him. He's a cool dude. And we ended up, he said, can we swap numbers? And I said, well, yeah. And so we swapped numbers, and him and his family travel around. They homeschool, and it seems like we actually have a lot in common. So it was really cool to meet this guy. He's on his way to the inauguration with his family. So it's just pretty awesome. Well, all I can tell you is I finally got off that mountain with all them tanks. And I couldn't call nobody or nothing. I had missed calls. I had missed texts. I had missed this. I had missed that. And I got Brian waiting somewhere for me to get these tanks to him. And I had to tell him what the holdup was. And I got up there last night to a Lowe's parking lot, and I met Brian. Again, Larry's brother. Larry is like my adopted Nashville father. I love Larry. So me and Brian had a lot in common, just sitting there talking and getting to know each other a little bit and swapping all these tanks over. Brian is going to go get them filled and go do something, and then I got to bring them back up there tomorrow. Today, I'm going to try to do some more connecting with people, connecting people to this or that. I'm not going to get into all that on here right now because none of it's happened. But I will say, all I know for sure is I got to get this camper situated and figure out where the heck I'm sleeping so I don't keep waking up at 20 degrees, because if I don't have to, I don't want to. If I have to, I'll do it until Friday. And Friday, I'm going back to Nashville. So currently, it is Wednesday. So I still have a few days left to figure it all out. And this is what I'm on the cusp of. And I'm still I got my guitar with me. I'm still in music mode. Last night I'm laying in bed in the freezing camper under all these blankets, and an email comes through on our website. And there's a guy that wants to do a documentary on Haven on the Hill, and he's asked me to come over there and perform the song on his documentary. So I don't know nothing about that, but I told him, all I know is what I told you. You know what I know. So I told him I'd be there, and, so we're going to figure that out. So I have my guitar, and I guess I'll just go over there, and I kind of already have a vision of it. There's this, they spray painted a little art thing called Haven on the Hill on this side of this, trailer. And it looks pretty cool, to be honest with you. And it's like it looks like a mural, and it really conveys visually what this place is all about. So I envision getting out my amp, plugging in my guitar and my vocal, and just right in the 20 degrees or 30 degrees, plugging in and singing that song as we're all bundled up in front of that Haven on the Hill mural painted on that trailer. I mean, spray painted. That's kind of what I envision. So if that pops up on your news feed, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, then you were right here with me when I was sitting here thinking about it. But we'll see how it goes. Have a great day. On the cusp of who knows what. Always off the cuff. God bless you.